So you find yourself to understand who I am on a much deeper perspective. And I find myself, I'm not one, nor have I ever been, someone to fabricate the reality of truth, to fabricate reality for what it is, and to correlate and connect common sense, logic, rational thinking, expanding the horizons of your mind and your consciousness. And I've always been one to be upfront, to be vocal, to express my consciousness on a so much more of a clearer scale and perspective. Like, the deeper you travel inside of this rabbit hole of whether the occult or whatever craft that you should decide you want to pursue in your life, whatever it is that serves your obligations, whatever that serves your purpose, your higher most divine consciousness, whatever speaks out from your spiritual consciousness and your soul collective from within, whatever craft that you find yourself to be really good at, whatever purpose that serves your mission in this life, you have to be one to assimilate, you have to be one to expand your mind every single day of your life. You have to be one to expand your mind constantly. There's never a time when you digress. You find this perfect balance in between everything. And as for myself, I am constantly working on myself every single day of my life. There's never a time when I stop pursuing my passions. There's never a time when I let my guard down or to stamp out my morals. There's never a time when I even have a hindrance, a slightest thought to surrender my passions, my creativity, my inspiration, my influence within myself. That fire that is in itself alive. And I never, for one, surrender myself to the opinions and perspectives of others around me. And I never, for one, I never stop doing what I absolutely love doing. And I am not the type of person to give up my aspirations. I'm not the type of person to crumble, to falter, to submerge myself deep into the minds of other people and their lives. That is their own drug, that's their fixation, whatever drama, or, everyone's got their own issues, so they call it. Everyone has their own purpose in life. And each one of us as human beings, we have a purpose to do and fulfill, And I, for one, I never stop working. I never stop creating my videos. I never stop for anything in my life. And this friendship circle of mine is so finite. It's so small. But you know what? I'm perfectly content with that. You have to be the person, an individual, to take your mind over your body. Like, you have to be the master of your own consciousness. You cannot allow your consciousness to be your master. You have to master your own mind. And you should never be a slave to the rhythm. You should never be a slave to your mind. Or a slave to others. You should always be enslaved to yourself in such a way that you empower yourself. You find that your mind, the human mind in a vessel, in a spiritual consciousness, is one of the strongest things that there is possible, that exists. And so much of our minds, as human beings, we only use a tendency of at least 1/5 of it. And we never allow our minds to, expand to its fullest, most complete potentials. The reason I'm saying all of this is because you see so many people in today's society where they throw judgments towards you in one fashion, or some ordinance or another, or some what have you, you know. No matter who you are on this planet, blue earth of ours, you are going to have people to throw shade at you. You're going to have people to gossip and rumor about you, to vilify you, put words in your mouth, to demonize you, to dehumanize you. And I face myself with this particular, I wouldn't call it an obstacle, I consider it as a blessing. You know, for people that love or hate me, or perhaps a mixture of both, however that's possible, like psychologically, one cannot figure that out, right? How can you love and hate somebody at the same time? Perhaps it's like, okay, some people have this like love and hate relationship with, let's just throw it out there, okay? Let's just say the DMV, the dentist, Walmart, okay? I mean, as far as myself, not to brag or anything, and this video is not about myself. Well, I mean, it is to a degree, but it's not. It's about you. It's about a collective. My videos in itself has always been focused upon a collective. And I'm merely just a messenger. I'm just a person that shares my particular personal experiences from, whether from, okay, past, present, and future. And I use this channeling as an avenue, a gateway to open the doors to help other people, to guide them. And I'm not by any means a savior or a messiah or what have you, so please don't think that about me, you know. Ultimately, you are responsible for your own words, your own actions, and with this video, I say that for those of you who I had offended or pissed off in one fashion or another, and if I was at fault, which I'm very rarely at fault, I mean, once again, not to sound as if I'm immaculate by any means, you know, I'm not Jesus Christ, but as starseeds, humanoids, as human beings, we have our designs of our flaws, that we were born with our natural sins into this world. And with this, I say I apologize. Alright. And, you know, I moved past of all the drama, moved past all the beefs, I moved past everything out of my life, and every day of my life I'm focusing upon myself to better myself, you know. And with this video, honestly, God, I have to say, I've struggled so much to try to find the balance of light in the world. No matter what I do, I cannot find much of the light. As if the light itself is almost non-existent. It's almost irrelevant. It's almost insignificant, so much to the point where, I don't know. Today, there was a poster, and I know a lot of you know me to be a strong advocate for animals, and I very much am. I stand up for animal rights. I sign petitions every single day of my life, and I have to safely assume, because of the county in which that I reside within, in the state in particular, it's unfortunate, but it's true. Sometimes animals get taken away by its owners, and you know, I find myself disgusted more and more towards humanity. As if humanity is not, it's progressing, at the same time it's digressing. Technology is constantly in motions of changes towards an optimistic progression. However, as human beings, we're constantly reverting backwards, you know. We're constantly, well, actually, for a while we were stagnant. And then we were lopsided. And then now we're reverting backwards. Progressing by a mere smidget, by a small fraction. A small ratio and a small little percentage. And then we find ourselves reverting backwards. and we're stagnant again. We found our balance, and we're just, you know, I don't know. All I can do as a mere mortal is to help guide our planet as best as possible. And I find myself at struggles, at odds, a conflict of interest within, you know. I find myself being seduced and ravished by the thought of humanity. Every single day of my life, I hope to imagine that maybe our neighbors, maybe perhaps the world, our little collective, our community, people would actually, human beings, okay, let's call them, these insignificant creatures, okay, would actually get together to create changes. I don't see nobody but me. And that's unfortunate. That's in itself is a reality of depression. That in itself is a defeated reality. A reality that almost, it's lonely. You know? I see so many people constantly complaining, berating about, in regards to political affairs and, you know, societal corruptions. Why not get out there and change it? Why not do like I do? Why not go out and raise vibrations of energies of the planet and try to help purify the world in such a way where, in a metaphysical perspective, to cleanse the world, to cleanse yourself, to see the reflection of yourself in a mirror, and above all, to go out and raise awareness, you know. There are so many animal shelters, there's so many homeless shelters, there's put an end to bullying, you know. That's just to name a few. I mean, it's just a smear, small fraction. But there's so many things in this world that we could reach and surpass and bypass our infinite possibilities and our potentials to change the world around us. At the same time, there's so many people who are yet lazy, apathetic, people who have absolute no interest to helping our planet, to helping ourselves, and especially above all, people who have no interest to better ourselves. And I see a world dying, decaying, withering, just fading into nothingness, you know. It's like the particles of invisible dust that you are not able to see with the naked eye, but you know that it's there. It's just like the spirit orbs and spirits that are all around you. You can feel it, you know. You could see it. Well, I mean, you could see it in a way, but this world is dying. There's so little people to actually care about the status of the condition of the world. I swear to God, like every day of my life, I do my best to try to see the betterment of the world around me. It's like too few, far in between. And yet when good people like myself work hard to strive towards the success of the planet and the condition in which we harbor, that we have migrated upon this planet, and yet people like me are obviously vilified, and they see me as how they see Lucifer or Satan, you know. Well, in retrospect, all misconceptions, you know. People have misconceptions and are buried deep within it every day of their lives. Their self-gratification of their misinformation, their miscommunication, their self-destruction. They are responsible for annihilating the planet. These are the people, the parasitic life forms that exist upon this planet. I call them the haters. I call them vessels of emptiness and nothingness. And all the while, they are no contribution in a positive reinforcement of our planet, and they have done absolutely nothing to sanctify a greater humanity. What have they done? Pick up trash? Nothing. You know, they want to talk their slang and their ghetto, and I don't see myself as better than anyone else. I don't see myself as better than anyone else. And I've never thought about myself that way. I merely exist inside of a world that has never believed in me. But however, I believe in myself. And like I said, this circle of very few genuine, legitimate, authentic friendships to me is absolutely sacred, and it's truly a blessing in itself. I could not have personally asked for so much better in my life. And for those of you who are indeed my loyal subscribers, the people that support me, and you have the absolute entitled right to disagree with me. I mean, you don't have to completely agree with everything that I say or what I do, but as long as, you know, of course, you are someone who is genuine, authentic yourself. But anyway, this is what all I had to say, and it deeply saddens me. You know, there are some days more than others where I absolutely feel lost. I feel depressed for this world and the direction in which our planet is headed towards. What people need is repentance. What people need is redemption. And I don't believe that there's enough redemption to serve the light in this world that exists to make the world a better place. You know, I'm a bit half and half about, I believe that the world will become better. Then again, I believe the world is not getting better. Yeah, I'm one of those people. So, I'm just the gray, I'm just a shadow, Mr. Gray, I'm just in between. So, farewell.